By December, I will be 17 years in marriage, and these are things that I've learned, I've personally experienced, and they have worked for me, and I am sharing them with you. I hope that it will be a blessing to you. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Chinedu Mwokika, and the first thing I learned is that you are the thermostat in your home. Have you noticed that when you're moody, it tends to rub off on other members of the household? As much as possible, regulate your home properly. Set the pace. If you want a peaceful home, that means that you have to be peaceful as well. That means that you have to carry others along. The Bible tells us in Proverbs 14, verse 1, the wise woman builds her home, the foolish one with her own hands tears it down. So, as much as possible, be the home builder. Build your home the way you want it. You regulate more. You are in charge of what happens in your home. Let it be that you're creating an atmosphere of love, of peace, of serenity, an atmosphere that every household member is happy to come back with. Number two thing I learned is that for arguments, if it's not worth the peace of your home, just let it be. It is not wise trying to win an argument and you lose your spouse in the process, because oftentimes when you drag issues longer than necessary, there tends to be a gap emotionally, and at times, if it is not worked on, the devil can work on those things and creep in. Do not give the enemy an edge. So do not go looking for things where there is nothing. Learn to trust. Most women check their husband's phone trying to sniff for things that are not. Do not go looking for things, being a detective and giving yourself sleepless nights. You're a work in progress. Learn to trust. Do not do things that you will regret tomorrow. If it's not worth it, learn to let it go. If it's not worth the peace of your home, learn to let it go. Your husband is not a project for you to change. You are there. You are not supposed to be his mother. Pray, ask God to work on him. If there are things you don't like, rather tell God, God, I would want him to work on this and all that. Then, if you can, set the right time, discuss these things with him. He might be open to change, but do not push it. Then talk about issues. Do not nag, because for men it's a turn off. And the Bible says, better to live on a rooftop than in a house with a nagging woman. Try not to be nagging about issues. If you can, communicate. And if you're communicating, use the terms, I believe this pleases me. If you say we, not just that you're pointing accusing fingers at the other person. If you can say, I do not like this and this, be as objective as possible. Create an atmosphere where your communication, not as if you're finding fault, but you are willing to take correction, even if you're the one that is wrong. Look for ways to communicate appropriately. Then there are times that you don't bring up issues. Let's say you've just had a heated argument. It wouldn't be wise trying to correct that at that moment. Just let it be. Okay. When you feel it's an appropriate time, then you can bring it up. A reference will be Abigail. When Nabal had that issue, dismissed David the way he did, Bible tells us that she waited when she saw that Nabal came back drunk. She did not want to bring up the issue. She waited at an appropriate time. So there's an appropriate time for every issue. If you have to wake him up earlier, probably when the tension is less, and talk about things, it will help a whole lot. About your intimacy, anybody can initiate it. It doesn't have to be one-sided. It has to be the man always coming. Whatever works for you, try to do it. Whatever that will make you live at peace, do it. Learn your husband's love language. If it's physical touch, if it's communication, if it's a show of love, learn to speak it and speak it well. The Bible says your desire shall be for your husband. They like to feel appreciated. It doesn't have to be a one-way thing. Communicate your needs as well. When you give ideas, of course, you can sense something that is not right just from hearing it, because you have the interest of the home, the family at heart. When you give suggestions, don't push it. Give your opinion, perspective on issues, then let him make a decision. You don't have to force, oh, because the idea is coming from me, he has to take it. Just give your opinion and let him do what he wants. At times, They know that this is what they should do. And even if it backfires, do not rub it in that, oh, I told you, and all that. That might just be a way that God is teaching him to, oh, next time, listen to your wife better. Don't be that wife that will try to cut off relationships, your husband from relationships. Remember, he had a family before he got married to you, he had friends before he got married to you. Do not try to come in and disassociate him from relationships, because for most men it's a turn off. Most women try to be possessive over their husbands, or they try to come in, they don't want them relating with family, they don't want them relating with their friends, it's just them being in the house. Allow him to still be himself even in that marriage. If you can, spend some time together before having kids. It will help you build your relationships. Get to know each other intimately, emotionally. Let there be a connection. Remember, by the time you have children, at some point they will leave their nets and go. Let it be that you've created the bond that tomorrow, when they are off, you have a friendship, you have a relationship, you have a bond that you are building on. Some people just take, oh, by the time they get, because children, when they come, they say it changes everything. By the time you start caring, most people do not get build on their relationships when they start parenting and work, other things that come, social life and all that that comes in between. Learn to build that relationship. If you could keep up that and bond better, probably months or year before you start having the children. Marriage is a lifelong journey. The earlier you understand that it is for the long run, be intentional about it. Do not lose yourself as a married woman. You have your dreams, have something you're looking forward to. Let it be that you're still improving yourself, you're still aiming higher to be better at what you do. Don't lose yourself. If you were this kind of person that always took care of herself before you got married, getting married doesn't mean that you have to take less care of yourself. Make sure you're still maintaining your look. Don't lose yourself in the process. If you can, keep looking good, maintain your looks. For your husband, they like it that they come in and their wife is making an extra effort to improve on herself. Like I said, you are also the thermostat of your home. You are also the one to make sure that your home is a safe haven that your husband looks forward to come back with too. Always remember why you married him, because some people, strife comes in and all that. They have arguments here and there. They tend to forget easily why they even made that commitment, made that vow in the first place. Always have it at the back of your mind. If it was because of his humor, because he was always fun to be around, don't just let little offenses put you off about him. Learn to always remember why you married him. You need it to bond better with your husband, to find his love language, like I said, and communicate that regularly. Then pray for your husband, pray for your children, pray for your family. Proverbs 31, it talks about the virtuous woman. Bible says her husband arises and calls her blessed. He finds good in her and lacks nothing of value. That means that you are an asset for a husband that recognizes your value. Learn to pray for your family. God listens, God answers, because you're taking time to make that investment in your family. By the time you are praying, the bond is there. You have, it's a threefold cord. God is at the center of it. And because you are praying for him, it's not easy for the enemy to just creep in. It's not easy for you to pick offenses, because this is someone you're praying for. You will tend to overlook some things because forgiveness, the Holy Spirit will keep speaking to your heart about things, what you need to turn the other way about, whatever you need to do, when you need to shut up, when you need to take a walk and just overlook the issues. Prayer is very important in your marriage. Pray for your children, pray for your husband, pray for your goals, pray for your dreams, and you see God will bring you. Support the best you can. Support your husband's dream. Be honest and do not keep secrets. One thing we do is that we have periodic reviews of our marriage. I get to ask, okay, what would you want me to improve on? What are the issues that you don't like, and what do I do that you don't like? Because oftentimes these people that are close to you, family members, your spouse, they're the ones that can actually tell you the truth without sugarcoating it. So whatever they tell you is what is not working for them, what they're not happy with you about. Be open to accept whatever it is objectively and choose to work on it. It's not just that you want to hear what they have to say and not do anything, or you feel they are picking on you. Be open to accept whatever it is that they are telling you and work on it. In marriage, some say it's 50-50, but I like to see it as you bringing in your 100%. Each couple bringing in their 100%. You are not just here, oh, I'm here to give my 20%, he brings the 80%, this person brings 70%, this person brings 30%. Give it your best. Give it your 100%. This person working together, Bible says, can two work together except they agree? If there is no agreement, if there is no oneness, you see that there will always be issues. So as much as possible, agree over issues and learn to learn things, let things be. Another thing I learned in marriage is that families would always favor their own. So, as much as possible, protect your family, protect your husband in front of your siblings, in front of your family, friends. Let it not be that you are giving things away that by the time he hears it, he will not be happy. Remember, it's now a family unit. So you're also protecting the interest of your home. Some people go as much as sharing secrets that they should not with family members. And by the time you now want your family members to respect your husband, it's gone. Why? Because you've shared things that you shouldn't have shared. So as much as possible, protect your husband. Family secrets are supposed to be kept secrets. It's not everything that you go out and voice out. Maintain the privacy of your family. Then, as much as possible, for in-laws, if it's about my family, issues about my husband, let me be the one to present it. If there's something to give, I'll be the one to give. If there's an issue to talk about, let them talk to me, not to him. For his as well, let them talk to him, okay? And you will know how to protect your spouse in front of your family. Then always work on forming a formidable team and relationship with your husband. Okay, you are married. In front of your children, have a common front. In front of your family, have a common front. That was one very vital lesson I learned from my parents. They had a common front. If you ask one this and you go to the other one, they are going to say the same thing. Even if you ask at different times, children know that by the time they come to this person, it's a different thing. They go to this person, it's a different thing. They will choose which of them they can go to, but have a common front to say that if our decision is this, we maintain that. If we need to shift, let it be that we are making that shift together with a united front. I'm communicating same with to our children. Not that this one says, oh, this one is more liberal and the other does not love them, or it's being a disciplinarian. So have a common front. No one is perfect. Understand that you are not perfect. Your spouse is not perfect. At times, things you tend to feel that because you're the one, you can make excuses for yourself, but for the other person, you should criticize. Know that as you're not perfect, your spouse is also not perfect. So learn to give excuses, forgive in advance, appreciate that he's even working on things, and learn to let it be. Magnify, praise the things that he's doing well. Another says, if you speak to the king in him, that is who you see. But if you criticize and you bring him down, you will see him. If you criticize, disrespect him, his authority, and as the head of the home, at times they tend to fight that. So as much as possible, Bible says submit, and the husband love, and you respect. Do your own part. God will do his own part on him. Nobody is perfect. Forgive where you need to. Learn to make excuses and just know that he's not perfect. He's a work in progress as well. So this is number 17. If possible, over communicate. Keep tabs with each other while at work. Distance relationship. When we had distance relationship in our marriage, we made it a point of duty each holiday this other person goes, just keep tab of one another, communicate. It's better you over communicate than you are not communicating as effectively as you should. Then, if you have issues, talk about them. He doesn't read minds. So, whatever it is that you want, whatever your needs and desires are, communicate it. If possible, over communicate. Talk about issues. Don't sweep things under the carpet. Let it be that issues are resolved. By the time the enemy will not find a foothold to come into your marriage, then do not let children come between both of you. Do not do that. Most people, once they have an issue with their spouse, they tend to look away and focus on the children. Know that these are actually things that you need to work on. By the time you work on that relationship and build that bond, remember, these children at some point they will leave and go to their nest. They will leave the home, and you are still back together with your spouse. It's a lifelong thing. Work on your relationships, and always remember from the word go that both of you are from different backgrounds, different perspectives, different opinions, different ways of doing things. So don't expect that because I do things this way, I'm a meticulous person, my husband has to be meticulous. Of course, they say opposites attract. It's even that opposite nature that was what attracted to you to him. So as much as possible, try to work on you being compatible. Adapt. Know that this might be an area where he's working, and where you see his weaknesses, do not go highlighting it, overlook it. Look for strengths that you are focusing on and putting your attention on. You see that it will be easier for him to even work on that. And God will pray about it. God will also bring him through. There's the last one. From day one, we made up our minds that it's either we work on this marriage or we work on it. Let it be that you have no plan B. For some, these days you see that people get into marriage with the thought of if anything happens, we walk out. We go on our separate ways. There's already an exit option. So as much as possible, zero your mind. We're in it together and we're going to work it out. Whatever the issues are, we're going to talk about it. We're going to work on it. We're going to pray about it and we're going to resolve it. And you see that when you work out those issues and you involve God, because you're building a godly home, a godly family, you will see that God will always honor that relationship. I hope this has been a blessing. I hope this really blessed you. Let me know which of them actually blessed you. Subscribe, like, share this video, and I'll see you in the next. Watch the next video. Thank you.